And I want to welcome my fellow Mississippian and my friend, Mr. Jamie Miller, who serves as Deputy Director for Governmental Affairs and Chief Innovation Officer for the Mississippi Development Authority, MDA. He serves as Disaster Recovery Administrator and oversees state-owned ports. Mr. Miller lives in Gulfport, Mississippi. He responded to Hurricane Katrina both personally and professionally. I think it's noteworthy that he served as policy advisor to Governor Haley Barbour's Office of Recovery and Renewal following Hurricane Katrina. So I think it's fair to say, Senator Cruz and Mr. Ranking Member, that all four members of our first panel have been there and done that, and I can say from my own personal knowledge that Jamie Miller knows what he's talking about when it comes to this subject matter. So we'll set the clock for 5 minutes for each witness. If there's more to be provided to the committee, we'll of course take the entire statement for the record. We'll begin down here with Mr. Miller and proceed down the table. You are recognized, sir, and welcome.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Senator Cruz, Ranking Member Nelson, and good morning to my senator, Senator Roger Wicker. I want to thank this Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation for hosting today's hearing and asking a very important question. Are we ready for the next hurricane season? It is my honor to come before you and offer Mississippi's perspective on hurricanes, hurricane preparedness, and our ability to respond and mitigate the impacts of the next major storm. Mississippi is a state where we value simple and practical solutions to problems. We value personal responsibility and taking care of our neighbors. As the most charitable state in the nation per capita, we value giving. Hurricanes have taught Mississippi some challenging lessons. They remind us how vulnerable we are to their power. But I'm here to share with this committee the lessons taught have not gone unlearned. Mississippi has been the beneficiary of the American people's incredible generosity when storms such as Hurricane Camille, Frederick, Elena, George, and Katrina made landfall in Mississippi. Mississippi was given a great responsibility to put those dollars to use to devise creative programs and policies to protect our citizens and to mitigate future damages. When Mississippi's coastal communities were built, it was without regard for significant hurricane impact. That all changed after Katrina. With the daunting task of rebuilding roads, infrastructure, housing, and the economy from a mountain of debris, Mississippi put the necessary safeguards in place to avoid the total devastation from future storms. Those safeguards required dramatic changes to building codes and elevation requirements. Housing programs implemented post-Katrina included the Homeowners Assistance Program, or HAP. HAP required grant recipients to elevate their homes, comply with building codes, and maintain flood insurance. The Homeowners Elevation Program provided grants to residents, although they did not lose their home, to elevate structures to the base flood elevations. And finally, Mississippi's Small Rental Assistance Program was designed to rebuild single-family rentals and duplexes with the new property covenants. Infrastructure initiatives included the Gulf Coast Infrastructure Program, which focuses on building a utility infrastructure backbone mitigated against future storm damage. The Port of Gulfport Restoration Program created a more resilient facility to withstand future hurricane damage. Efforts included elevating the port and creating an evacuation plan to ensure containers, equipment, and cargo did not wash inland. New buildings were also required to be built to the FEMA flood velocity zone standards, so critical structural components could withstand the storm surge. Mississippi believes in hazard mitigation. Coupled with the housing and infrastructure programs mentioned, Mississippi has invested more than $350 million in hazard mitigation directly. We invested $230 million in public and private safe rooms, $85 million in wind retrofits for homeowners, $21 million in flood control, and $16 million to acquire properties in the floodplain. The payoff for Mississippi's investments in preparedness and mitigation was never more evident than October 8, 2017, when Hurricane Nate made landfall along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Nate brought sustained winds of 85 miles an hour and a significant storm surge of 12 feet. This storm, by all accounts, should have caused an estimated $100 million in damages. However, Mississippi incurred no deaths, no injuries, and not one single home or business sustained major damage. Once the water subsided and debris was cleared, Mississippians went back to business as usual in a minimal amount of time. Governor Phil Bryant said it best when he correctly stated, "Mississippi did not dodge a bullet. We took a direct hit." As the waters of the Gulf of Mexico begin to warm, Mississippians know now is the time to put together their individual preparedness and recovery plans. We have strong leadership from a dedicated governor, statewide emergency management agency, and seasoned local emergency managers and communities that remain vigilant. And although we will never be able to completely prevent the damages caused by violent storms, Mississippi is better prepared today to withstand the effects of tropical weather thanks to our responsible use of mitigation and preparedness resources. Our structures are higher and stronger, and Mississippians are much smarter. Thank you.